On June 10th, Square Enix released Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade for the PlayStation 5. In this episode of Delve, we will chat about Final Fantasy VII's history and place in modern video game history. E3 2021 is this weekend, June 12th through the 15th. We're going to discuss the E3 2021 schedule, and over its 20-year history of E3, we'll talk about some of the highlights and how the show has evolved since its beginnings in 1995. And in Now Playing, we'll see how well I do against 63 other players when I play Super Bomberman Online R. So sit back, relax. Another episode of Delve Director's Cut starts now. Welcome to another episode of Delve Director's Cut. I'm Tom Morris. Delve is a show where we discuss all pop culture, whether it be video games, comic books, movies, animation, collectibles, any topic that's pop culture, we'll discuss it on Delve. Also, you can check me out on my live stream once a week, Delve Live, which also live streams on YouTube and on Facebook. If you haven't already, if you're watching this now, you can check out our social media platforms at Facebook, Instagram, at YouTube, at Delve Into the Void. Final Fantasy VII. I feel that it started the renaissance of modern video games with the PlayStation 5. Anyone that has been around the PlayStation generation, I feel Final Fantasy VII is one of the marquee titles for the PlayStation and one of the marquee series of role-playing games for the PlayStation. Yes, it's been on the Xbox. It's been various ones have been on the Switch, the DS, the Game Boy. It's a really culturally significant series. Final Fantasy VII, when it first came out on the PlayStation 1 in 1997, 9/7/1997, that we got to think about where role-playing games were at that point. They were primarily on the Super Nintendo, the Sega Genesis. They weren't modern and mainstream accepted here in America like they were in Japan. Final Fantasy was going to come out on the Nintendo 64, but the cartridge size of the Nintendo 64 limited what Square could do. Therefore, when Sony came out, CD storage held 750 megabytes. You could maybe be lucky to get like 2 or 3, 4 megabytes on a cartridge. And of course, they used compression. Square switched over the development of Final Fantasy from the Nintendo 64 to the PlayStation. It came out January 31st, I believe, in Japan, and it took that country by storm. Because role-playing games in Japan were extremely huge. Dragon Quest, which is the American Dragon Warrior that became Dragon Quest, they had days of the week that were just dedicated, long lines at the shops to sell these titles. It didn't happen in America until quite many, many years later. When Final Fantasy VII came out for the PlayStation, it came out on 3 CDs, which is about 1.5 gigabytes of information. It had full motion CGI graphics. It had beautiful orchestra. It had an adventure that people, I feel game players that missed, to me, is the modern video game era where it became artwork. You had your music, you had your graphics, you had your compositions. So before we start talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake, let's go back into a little history. Final Fantasy VII has come out originally on the PlayStation in 1997. Final Fantasy VII, if you want to call it a re-release, came out on iOS, PC, PlayStation 4, Switch, Xbox One between 2013 and 2019. Also for Android. The story of Final Fantasy VII, the legendary RGP classic, tells the story of the powerful ex-soldier Cloud as he joins a group of loyal companions in an attempt to save the world from destruction. Using innovative character customization options to create fun and interesting combinations of their favorite party members, players can fight to save the planet and discover the truth about Cloud's mysterious past. Now remember, at the time, these were cutting-edge graphics. The gameplay, it told a story. You started to feel for the characters. You started to take the magic at the time when they called upon their summon spells. It was amazing. I remember being blown away when I just had that demo disc for the PlayStation 1. And as I keep on scrolling, just think of how far we have come in these games since then. How far have we come along? Well, I am going to show you how far we have come along. Enter Final Fantasy Remake Intergrade. There's so many names for these titles. It's amazing, but it's awesome. It's an enhanced and expanded version of the critically acclaimed and award-winning Final Fantasy VII Remake for the PlayStation 5 console. Are you ready to watch the trailer for Final Fantasy VII Remake? This is the final trailer that went out. Here we go.
So that thing, that's a whisper too, huh?
Looks a lot more like an arbiter of fate than the others.
We can beat them. What the? I think it's coming this way.
What have you done?
Let's make it a night to remember. Now, let the hunt begin!
Cloud, lend me your strength. Let us defy destiny together. Don't deny me. Embrace me.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but
Just hit me with it.
I'm gonna drop plate number 7.
They're gonna do what?
I did bring these, Wutai's famous Dachau beans. Eat up, and here you go.
You look about ready to die of boredom. Wanna play Fort Condor?
Or Condor?
At long last, Wutai's finest deigned to join us.
That was Scarlet, Director of Advanced Weaponry.
It was one of her machines that killed Melfi.
Allow me to present the latest innovation in Shinra battle armor.
What the?
This'll be a memory to cherish for the rest of your lives. All 30 seconds of them.
the games begin.
This is just wrong.
We have definitely come a long way since 1997, which is really cool. The fact that the artists, the creators, the fans can truly relive the magic, a now retelling. I know there's people here that are playing it right now as we speak. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you're playing about it, what you love about it, how it enhances the experience.